What's going on? G Boogie again. gboogie.net is the website. I'm G Boogie. This right here is just a quick update on Home Depot, Office Depot. Basically explaining that they're getting a little bit tighter with their credit requirements. Everybody's getting a little bit tighter. Office Depot is also getting a little bit tighter with their credit requirements. Everything's getting a little bit tighter these days. I guess because of all the banks closing, everything's getting restructured and all that. So it's kind of getting really tight. A long time ago, well, not that long ago, like maybe 3 months ago, you only really needed 3 people in a score, 3 trade lines. You got to excuse me, I use the slang terms that we use in the business. But you need to have 4 trade lines now and a paydex score in order to get credit from Home Depot and Office Depot. Not necessarily now, so if you don't have those things and you end up still getting an account with them, don't say G Boogie was wrong about that one. Sometimes it's the luck of the draw. Sometimes it just depends on, sometimes some people get lucky, some people slip through the cracks. So I just look at it like that. I just want everybody to be on alert about that and basically let everybody know there's new guidelines being put in place, new requirements for credit. That's pretty much it, man. I'm gonna, just to let people know, I'm gonna really start putting a lot of these videos, all the updates and all the new videos, I'm gonna really start putting them on my website. Just trying to get the traffic over there. I appreciate the traffic on YouTube, but it's more impressive if I was to actually have that traffic on my website. That way I can actually track it. It can be rated, and basically all I'm really trying to do is show the importance of the information that I'm giving. If I have a site out that everybody's getting a lot from it and people are getting tips and tricks that they wouldn't normally get from any other website, I need the hits and the visits to really reflect that. That's really just it. So every time something comes to me, I always put it out there. I put something out. I see some people stealing some of my ideas on some of these credit forums. They'll look at my site, then go somewhere else and give advice. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's free, but at least give me credit for it. You know what I mean? Like send somebody to the site once you give them that piece of advice. At least send them my way. That's pretty much it. Like I'm out here real comfortable, slippers, t-shirt. Like I said in the last video, still got some work to be done. Got some plumbing problems and all that. So waiting on the plumber to get here. And once this is wrapped up and tied off and I's are dotted, T's are crossed and all that, then I could go home. Believe it or not, I haven't slept in my own bed in 8 months. So, yeah. So I really stay on the road. I know I say a lot too, but that's the only thing I can think of to say at this moment. This is like really off the top of my head. I promise you I'm gonna upload these 2 videos, and then I'm gonna sit down and give you a nice video with enough meat in it, put in a sandwich, and get some good points together. Like I mentioned the paperwork on a previous video. I mentioned business licenses. If your business, if the area of business that you're in requires a license, make sure you have it. Make sure you get all your paperwork and all your ducks in a row now. This is just as important as filling out for Staples and ordering from Seton and Granger and those companies I gave you. Make sure your paperwork, that's the most important thing, because you don't want to do everything else and then get to the bank and they're like, what are we going to do with this? So my advice to people is paperwork. Make sure your paperwork is tight. Make sure your bookkeeping is tight. Your record keeping is tight. Make sure your corporate paperwork is tight. Your meetings, your minutes, everything corporate constitution. Make sure you have a shareholders meeting the second you get your binder, your corporate binder, and your seal. Make sure you have your seal. That's important, depending on what bank you're dealing with. Some banks won't even open your account unless you have your corporate seal, and that's actually the metal stamp that you put on all corporate documents that makes them official. And I'm trying to think what else. I'm telling you, this works a whole lot better when everybody gives me questions, because you could you could give me your scenario and I could put myself in your place, and I could tell you how I would fight myself out of it. So it works good that way. I appreciate all the comments. I get a lot of comments from people. Some people call me all the time, like regularly, and that's pretty cool. I like that. And it's G Boogie. GBoogie.net is the website. And now I'm going to turn everything over to y'all. And you tell me what you want to see. That's all I can think of. I think I got one more thing. I might as well go ahead and say it. I'm going to save it. I got something for my subscribers. I got to beef the subscriptions up first and wait for it to hit a certain number. And I got a business opportunity for you that you will not believe. And on top of that, you don't even have to put any of your money up. Like a matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and tell you what it is. Nah. No, okay, yeah. Okay, I'll tell you. What I'm going to do is, like GBoogie.net, it's going to be like a community corporation. And what I'm going to do for my subscribers is I think I'm going to give away like 20% of the business to people. Like after a certain number or a certain amount of subscribers, I'm just going to give 20% of my business up. So as the economy gets tight, that way you'll be rolling with the king. So that way you can't go wrong. You know what I'm saying? You have 20% without any cash outlay at all or nothing coming out your pocket. And everything I make, you get a cut of it. Wow, like I know a lot of people are like, well, how's that possible? You got to stay tuned. You got to go to the website, check for the updates, and it'll be like the first however many people that apply. I'm going to give away 20% of the company. Let's just put it like that. You can't beat that. I'm going to give away 20% of the company. So with that being said, it's almost like a sweepstakes, almost like a lottery type thing. So with that being said, like I said, just go to the website every day. Check for updates every day. Because like when I go check my reports and statistics from my site, I can tell who's return visitors. I can tell who's unique, who's new. So go every day and check it. I'm be giving away 20% of the business to a certain number of people. So if you miss out, you miss out. I may do it again on another business or another project I'm working on, maybe on a real estate thing. That's another thing. I got a lot of people asking me about real estate, and I had one question in particular. How long does it take before you get to the cash part of the real estate thing? My thing is nowadays, if you got some capital to work with, you have a small budget you can work with. I mean, maybe 2 months tops. If you have no budget and you're working on a complete shoestring from the ground up, it may take a little longer than that, maybe 3 months. So just stay tuned with me. GBoogie.net. I'm G Boogie. I'm just trying to help, folks. I'm just trying to help.